Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a great day today is, because we just got done watching the Nintendo Direct for June 2024, and I have to say that Nintendo Direct exceeded pretty much every expectation I had from Nintendo this year in terms of software pipeline, in terms of new games, and moving into 2025, I just think there's so much to be excited about for Nintendo fans, for Nintendo Switch owners, and I'm thrilled. After watching that, I'm still kind of floored by some of the stuff we saw announced for the Nintendo Switch this year, so today I wanted to break it all down, give my thoughts, and just discuss it in order from beginning to end. So starting off, they start off very strong. I do have some reservations about this, I will be honest, but Mario and Luigi Brotherhood. Now, at the time of recording, I don't believe we know who's making this. That is a very key part of my excitement for this game. I need to know who's making it to see if they have the chops to bring back Mario and Luigi. But this is insane. I don't think anybody expected, not earnestly, that we would be getting a new Mario and Luigi game this year, and one that looks so good. This art style is beautiful. It feels like a proper return to form in terms of the exciting, weird designs and everything, from the enemies, from the world, to the humor. This feels exactly like what Mario and Luigi needed. I'm so glad we didn't see the series revived with another remake, a port, whatever. To see them bring back Mario and Luigi in such a big, bold new way is so exciting, and I just wasn't expecting it anytime soon. I thought this would be on Switch 2 5 years from now. I was not expecting it this year. I will say, and this is no fault to the game itself, I'm a little burned out, I gotta be honest. We just got Mario RPG last year, we just got Thousand Year Door, and now we're getting Mario and Luigi. Now, of course, Mario and Luigi inherently is the most exciting of those three because it is a new game, but I just feel like there's a lot of Mario RPGs happening in a very short time frame. That's less than 12 months between all three of those games. So for me personally, I'm feeling a little fatigued, but that doesn't take away from the fact that this is a very exciting announcement, a very strong first-party game to have in 2024 for the Nintendo Switch, and I know there's so many people rejoicing at the revival of this series. A lot of people thought it was going to be dead for good following the closure of Alpha Dream, but no, it's back and it looks better than ever, baby. So that is an absolute banger of an opening announcement. And then we get into our first batch of headlines. We see more of Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. Not much to say there. Fairy Tail 2 coming from Koei Tecmo. This actually looked kind of interesting. I don't watch or read Fairy Tail, but I thought that looked neat. Fantasian Neo Dimension. So this is the long-rumored port of the Apple Arcade game. Although it looks like there's some new content. It has that new subtitle, Neo Dimension. For those unaware, this is Hironobu Sakaguchi's game from Mistwalker. It was exclusive to Apple Arcade. Hironobu Sakaguchi, of course, for those that don't know, that is the creator of Final Fantasy. So, seeing this come over, seeing them work with Square Enix to publish this on Nintendo Switch, very exciting. I'm very excited to finally play this game. Coming holiday 2024, getting a full proper release, I presume with new content. I haven't played it on Apple Arcade, so maybe those who have played it can tell me, did we see something new here? But I think that's very exciting. Then we see something out of nowhere that, I don't think many people at this point really care about. However, I'm very excited for, because this is my most played Switch game. Nintendo Switch Sports getting a free update that's adding basketball. I thought this game was done. I thought they were just going to move on to Switch Sports Resort or whatever for Switch 2, but no, we're seeing basketball come over this summer. I hope we get more cosmetics. I hope we get some more stuff to grind for, but either way, I will definitely be playing that later this summer. Mio Memories in Orbit coming 2025. This is at a really unique art style. Kind of reminded me of Bayonetta Origins. I believe Focus Home Interactive is publishing it. I thought that looked pretty neat. Disney Illusion Island getting a free update out now. Very cool. That's a pretty fun, kind of lighthearted kid Metroidvania. Hello Kitty and Island Adventure. This is the part of the Direct that's I understand why it's here, but also I don't really need to see this. But we got Hello Kitty Island Adventure. That's a timed console exclusive coming out later this year, as well as Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports coming out this fall from Game Mill. Then we get our Among Us updates. So a lot of games that we've already known about, or just aren't really, I feel like, the target Nintendo Direct viewer demographic, all kind of lumped together here. But Among Us update, that's how we knew the Direct was going to be on June 18th. Very cool to see it, I guess. Then we saw one that I was more interested in than I expected. A year or so ago, Marvelous had announced they're working on a new game with Hiro Mashima, the creator of Fairy Tail, funnily enough, and we finally got to see it. It's called Farmagia. It is a farming game, but almost has Pikmin combat elements where you have hordes of monsters and you're throwing them at enemies. I thought this looked pretty interesting. I would need to wait to see and get some previews from it and see what people think, but I thought this looked pretty neat. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. This one, I bet, for a lot of people kind of hurt. It's coming out January 16th, 2025, so I was right. We were going to see a little bit into 2025 for Nintendo, just to, kind of hold us over as we wait for the next console. And I actually talked specifically about Country Returns HD in my video last week talking about like what 3DS games could make sense on the Switch at this point in time. If they're not ready to release a new Donkey Kong game, I figured this would make a lot of sense. Includes the content from the 3DS version, doesn't seem to have anything else new added, but maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. I'm okay with it. That's a cool game to have out in January, right? I'm a little surprised it's not releasing this holiday. Like, that feels like it should have been a holiday game, but either way, Country Returns HD, happy to see it come over. I haven't played that game in a very long time. And then we finally got to see Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Now, this isn't exclusive or anything. It's coming to all platforms, but I could not be more excited for this as someone who played Dragon Quest XI for the first time this year. I'm a new Dragon Quest fan. I've been waiting for this now. Not as long as everybody else, obviously, but I've been waiting for this remake to come out and to see them announce, hey, it's coming out November 14th, but also next year, we're getting Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD coming in 2025. Like, that's so exciting. This key art is beautiful. I cannot wait for this. HD 2D, I love the art style. I know some people are kind of getting tired of it. I'm personally not, though, so I'm really excited for this. I thought it was going to be the entire trilogy in one game. That's what we were kind of hearing from rumors, but they are selling them separately, which is a little disappointing, I guess, but I'm okay with it. If the games are quality, if the length is there, if the, game is that good, which I am led to believe by a lot of Dragon Quest fans, I'm okay with paying for these separately and them getting the love they deserve individually. Some more headlines. Funko Fusion looks kind of stinky. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD out June 27th. No new information there. The new Dimperman. So this was announced in the partner showcase back in February, only in the Japanese version though, coming out July 22nd as a Switch timed exclusive. For those that don't know, this was a Nintendo published series on 3DS from Genius Sonority. They do a lot of Pokemon spin-offs. It's not published by them this time, but it is coming back as a timed exclusive on Switch this summer. Very weird, like, dungeon crawler series, very zany, very like that era of Nintendo Wii 3DS. Like, it just very, very much reminds me of that time for Nintendo. So I'm happy to see that get localized. I must have missed this one while I was reacting because I was so excited about Dimperman, but Metal Slug Attack Reloaded out later today. I didn't even realize that was a shadow drop, so that's really cool. Darkest Dungeon 2 coming to Switch July 15th, pretty neat. Then we got our Switch Online update for this Direct. I would say this is a pretty meaty one. So we're getting Zelda 4 Swords, very exciting, out now, awesome. Zero Mission, I was very happy because I'm wearing my Metroid Fusion shirt. Zero Mission's coming over, but then they also announced that they're adding a Nintendo 64 Mature 17 Plus Switch Online app that will have Perfect Dark and Turok. So expect to see more M-rated N64 games come over in the future. That is nothing but a win in my opinion. A really surprising revival from NIS America, Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero, coming out 2025. For those that don't know, Phantom Brave, I believe, is from the original developers of Disgaea, but it was a PSP game. They've recently ported it in that Pretty Presents collection, but to see this come back in this big new way with these 3D graphics, I think it looks really cool. Definitely more niche, but I'm always here to see those kinds of games in Nintendo Directs, and I thought it looked pretty neat. Then a really cool announcement from Capcom, first of two, Marvel vs. Capcom, a Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. So this is, you're getting your MVC2, you're getting the Punisher beat 'em up, you're getting Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Like, this is such a cool collection from Capcom. I feel like they're starting to run out of games, but in terms of a collection that they could do right now for more fighting games, like this, I feel like is like best case scenario, right? Getting MVC2 on modern consoles is nothing but a good thing. Then we get another first party announcement with Super Mario Party Jamboree. I love Super Mario Party and I love Mario Party Superstars. I think this looks better than both of them. That remains to be seen, of course, with how good the mini games are, but we're getting 7 boards in this game, 5 new and 2 returning. The new boards look really cool. Roll 'em Raceway, you're in Mario Karts. There's like a mall map. There's a Wiggler map. Like, I think there's some very cool stuff going on with the maps in this game, the boards. But of course, it'll all come down to how fun the mini games are. There is that new Koopathlon mode, which looks pretty cool. It's like 20 players online. That's very intriguing to me. I love, of course, the multiplayer aspect of Mario Party, so getting more people involved in that could be a lot of fun. I don't like the name. I think Super Mario Party Jamboree might be one of the worst names for a video game that we've ever gotten. I wish they would have just called it Super Mario Party 2, but hey, the key art's beautiful, the box art's beautiful, and the game looks really cool. Coming out October 17th, as I have been saying. I think most people have been saying, like, hey, it's time for a new Mario Party. So that looks really cool. And then we got a Megaton. So if you've been following my channel for a long time, I have been speculating basically this entire year that we would get a new Hyrule Warriors game. The timing felt right from Koei Tecmo. It just felt like we would need to get something Zelda this year, and it wasn't going to be that exciting, in my opinion. But we did actually get a 2D Zelda game that's all new, where you play as Zelda. Papa Genos was right. Gotta give him his flowers. He was saying, like, hey, this new Zelda game's happening, and you're going to be playing as Zelda. There was a lot of rumors about this, and it is real. And for me, this is the game of the showcase. There were some people in my live stream chat saying, like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. I could not be more excited for Echoes of Wisdom. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom coming out September 26th. It feels like they took a lot of the design philosophies. In fact, Alan Newman was talking about this, breaking the conventions of 2D Zelda. It feels like they took a lot of the design philosophies of Breath of the Wild, of Tears of the Kingdom, and put it into a 2D environment. So in this game, you play as Zelda because Link's been trapped in some shadow realm, right? And you have a rod where you can clone items. And then you use those items to solve puzzles in the overworld, defeat enemies. You can even clone actual enemies that you defeat. So like you can get a bokoblin or whatever, right? And then clone it and then use it to fight other enemies. I think this is a very unique setting for a new 2D Zelda game. And to see it coming out so soon in September, I just think is so freaking exciting. I'm assuming Grezzo's making this because it is using the Link's Awakening art style and engine. Little disappointed in that. If I have anything negative to say about this game, while I love the Link's Awakening art style, I kind of wish it had more of its own identity, because it just looks like Link's Awakening, which like looks really good, but at the same time, it would have been cool to see another new 2D Zelda art style. But for a console in its 7th year, going to be entering its 8th in a couple months after this comes out, right, to be getting a new 2D Zelda game that looks this good and is this exciting to me is just... it's just crazy, man, that Nintendo can just release bangers like this out of nowhere. I mean, this game comes out in 3 months. That's so exciting. And alongside that, they also announced a new Switch Lite that the collector and me must get. It's just a gold Switch Lite with like the Hylian crest on the back, but looks super clean. Can't wait for that. Then we got some more headlines. Just Dance 2025. Can't say I'm excited for that. Lego Horizon Adventures was kind of funny to see. And a Nintendo Direct. Stray coming over, a very popular PS5 exclusive at one point. This is the game where you play as a cat with like dystopian future city, so cool to see that. Tales of the Shire. This is a Lord of the Rings game, I believe. I don't know anybody that would be interested in this, to be honest with you. But then we got another Capcom collection, Ace Attorney Investigations collection. We just got the Apollo Justice trilogy earlier this year, but they're just going back to back, and we're getting the Miles games from the DS, the second of which was never localized. This looks really good. I'm excited for this. And I have to say, for those that like Ace Attorney, I feel like this is a very good sign. If we are getting 2 Ace Attorney collections in a year, Ace Attorney 7 has to be around the corner. Like, that has to be happening. Almost like, I think that might be announced later this year, to be honest, at TGS or something, because this comes out on September 6th. I'm very excited for that. Then we got an announcement I think will be very exciting for a lot of people. The new game from the Danganronpa creators. It's called the 100-Line Last Defense Academy. Very Danganronpa-esque. You know what you're getting into with these games. That's coming in early 2025. Looks pretty good. And then final third-party announcement was Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven getting a full remake out of nowhere from Square Enix, October 24th. This looked really good. I've never played a Saga game. They just released Saga Emerald Beyond, which I didn't think looked that great. It seemed a little interesting, but like I didn't check it out. But we're getting a remake of the second game now, coming out October from Square Enix, and it just has this full, beautiful 3D art style. It kind of reminds me of Trials of Mana when that got a remake a couple of years ago. So I hope this does well, and we can see more of these like smaller, lesser-known franchises from Square Enix get the love they deserve. And then finally, the big one, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, releasing in 2025. This is going to be, this is going to be the topic of much debate for the next several months into next year. This game looks so good. Arguably too good. I mean, just from this trailer, right, from what we're seeing, from what Nintendo is showing us of Metroid Prime 4, which I cannot believe we're saying that right now. I cannot believe I'm talking about Metroid Prime 4 gameplay and footage. This is the best looking Nintendo game. Maybe not artistically, like I might prefer a Zelda game's art style or something, but just graphic fidelity wise, this is by far the best looking game Nintendo has released or will release. It looks too good for Switch. I think that's going to be the main talking point with this game. I was not a believer of Metroid Prime 4 being cross-gen, but I have to be honest, I do kind of believe that. The only thing that kind of has me holding that up though is like, they showed the Switch logo in this. We know it's still coming to the current Switch. I don't think they would show like Switch 2 gameplay. So maybe Retro is really just that damn good. Maybe they got this beautiful game running on the Switch. I mean, we were already very impressed with what we saw of Metroid Prime Remastered last year. Like that was already a very impressive Switch game. So maybe they have the chops to make Metroid Prime 4 look this good on hardware from 2016 or 2017. But Metroid Prime 4 Beyond coming out next year. Stains a little that it's not this year, right? Like that would have been crazy if this game actually ended up shipping in October like I was predicting. But just seeing it, this mythical Nintendo game, I mean, this would probably be what the longest like reveal to finally seeing it again for any Nintendo game ever. This is a legendary game that we've been waiting for, and to see it look so good is just really exciting. I need to dissect that trailer more. I need to go actually play Prime 2 and 3 because I will be honest, I haven't played those games, and we didn't see Prime 2 or 3 in this direct, so that's kind of peculiar. I have some thoughts on that, but Prime 4 Beyond looking absolutely beautiful. I'll be deferring to Andres Restart for some for some gameplay analysis of this, and of course I'll be doing my videos as we move forward. But that is the showcase. So from Nintendo, I believe we saw 5 first-party announcements. We saw Mario and Luigi, we saw Donkey Kong Country, Mario Party Jamboree, Echoes of Wisdom, and Metroid Prime 4. Like, that, I think, is a very good lineup for a console that is so late in its life, and I think it was a fantastic Nintendo Direct, not just from first party, but also from third party. There's a lot of stuff from Japanese developers that I'm excited for, like Fantasian, Romancing Saga, Farmagia, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, as well as 1 and 2 HD coming out next year. Like, there is just so much to be excited for on Nintendo Switch in 2024 and beyond. I'm so happy to be a Nintendo content creator right now, because it has been a drought of news and information for the past 7 or 8 months, but now we finally have a tangible lineup. I made a tweet talking about their entire lineup, and I'll just read that right now to kind of give you an idea of what we're working with here, right? Current Nintendo lineup is looking like this: Luigi's Mansion 2 HD on June 27th, Nintendo World Championships NES Edition on July 17th, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom September 26th, Super Mario Party Jamboree October 17th, Mario & Luigi Brothership November 7th, Country Returns HD January 16th, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond 2025, as well as Pokemon Legends ZA 2025. I think that is a incredible lineup for a console that is so old. And for it to have this much juice in it tells me that there's still more juice in that engine. Like, I think there will be more Switch games that will excite us in this way beyond into 2025. So, very good showcase. If I had to give it a grade, right, like, I would say probably an A- or A, only because I think one more game releasing this year would have thrown it over the top. We didn't see Fire Emblem 4 Remake. I was expecting it. I think that, like, being announced and releasing this year would have made this an A+ showcase for me, but maybe that's just my own expectation. I will say it does feel like there is a small gap in the year, and I feel like there could be another game releasing that we don't know about yet. I'll make a separate video on that, but I feel like my only slight disappointment, if you even want to call it that, is that we're not getting 2 games in October like we normally do. But like I said, I kind of think that might not actually end up being the case. So, very good Nintendo Direct. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I am ecstatic. I'm going to be rewatching all of these trailers over and over all day long. And like I said, I'll be doing analysis videos, more discussions, pretty much every day. Now that we have stuff to talk about, you're going to be getting daily uploads from old Botox Games for the foreseeable future, I imagine. So, subscribe here for that. Of course, follow me on Twitter at Botox Games. And until next time, folks, bye-bye!